We're here in Case, South Carolina, at the historical Columbia Speedway for the Corliss 300, third round of the 2018 Challenge Series presented by GripAll. We follow a small controversy stemming from Lakeland, nothing major, but during that race, Ronnie Samples and Thomas Tucker received penalties mid-race for their incidents. Samples got knocked 3 laps after tagging Megan McDonald in the right rear quarter panel in the first caution, and Thomas Tucker got sent to the back of the field after his contact with Lee Schmidt while battling for the lead. Ryan Faulkner, who was involved in 2 incidents as you see on your screen, did not get penalized for either after being summoned to race control's hauler. According to the competition director, they monitor all cars' steering, throttle, and braking telemetry and did not find anything abnormal or anything that would constitute a breaking of the rules. But his involvement in those 2 cautions did not make him any friends so far. But that was in Lakeland. Talking about here in Columbia, Kip Lemon failed to qualify in California, failed to qualify in Florida. Yesterday, failed to qualify again. That's 3 strikes. However, team owner David Tyner, according to sources, has issued an ultimatum. In Las Vegas, all 40 entered cars will start the race. That's the size of the entry list. Finish on the top 20 or else. Not a tall order to ask, but I cannot blame Tyner for it. The car seems pretty good. The team seems pretty solid. There's only one defective piece, and that's the one sitting between the steering wheel and the seat. If all else fails, you swap that. The last thing we got to tell you is this is one of the multiple races to have a distance increase from 200 to 300 laps. We are making the races longer this season, and that spells a lot of changes for behavior in drivers and crews. Let's take a look at how they line up for this one. Luke Pellerin nails out a solid qualifying effort over 2014 Series champion Mac Henley, while Thomas Tucker starts in 3rd, sharing roll number 2 with Lucy Barton. The Faulkners once again start very near to each other, as a matter of fact both on roll number 3, while Boyd Abbott and Kendra Brittany are 2 extremely welcome surprises on roll number 4, while Bobby Savage backs up his 3rd place last week with a 9th place qualifying effort this time around. While would you look at Creeper Stevenson in the 420, all the way up in 10th. The season didn't start the way Eddie Vaughan's Expansion Motorsports expected or wanted, but it seems like they needed just a good old rubbing to get it started. We'll see what they can do with that. Brett Finley, both Shield cars, Shelly Richardson and Becky Pellerin start inside the top 20, but you can see the disparity between the 2 Pellerin siblings. Luke was always the more proficient one on short tracks, but Rebecca's no pushover, so we'll have to see how she works her way forward today. Jimmy Wells gets a solid 21st place in qualifying, while his teammate Jason Prescott concluded qualifying at 25th, so an improvement for Zach Tech. While Tammy Barton and Ronnie Samples did not deliver the goods at all. As a matter of fact, they lost it in the distribution center and start 32nd and 34th. Only 4 drivers failed to qualify for this race today. Sean Smith had a good enough time in the secondary CJK Racing entry, but was knocked out by Kirk Jones making use of his Champions Provisional. While Lloyd McIntyre, Steve Garrett Jr., and Kip Lemon did not score good enough times to make it into the field. As we mentioned before, we're scheduled for 300 laps, 150 miles in this half-mile circuit. Because of that double distance, we are expecting 2 pit stops. No one has more than 140 laps of fuel to spare, so you're unable to one-stop this one. Columbia Speedway is one of the flattest ovals in the national circuit at only 7 degrees of banking in the turns, which means despite its size, we will be looking at longer times than drivers would prefer. Plus, it is cold. Despite the good skies for racing, we're ranging on some 49 degrees, which is typical for this time of year in South Carolina, but with 16-mile wind speeds, it's nothing unusual on that front either. Let's get down to it. The field is in control of Luke Pellerin and the green flag is out. We are on. here in Columbia. He already gets a good start, but McHenley keeps him very tight on a very tight leash as they come out of turn number 2. He keeps the lead. Here comes Thomas Tucker. Henley trying to fall in line, and he does fall in line. Ryan Faulkner is going to get the 4th position. Thomas Tucker is going to make a move for 2nd place as we conclude the first lap. Pellerin has the lead, but Tucker on the inside of the 18 for the 1st position. Is it going to work? Looks like it might. And now they're side by side for the 2nd position of the race. Tucker has the nose ahead as we're going to conclude the 2nd lap, and Tucker is going to take the lead, but Henley holds the outside very strongly, and he gets a good jump entering the turn and exiting. He's going to have the nose ahead, but Tucker gets a little bit more momentum, and he takes the 2nd position once again, but they're side by side fighting very narrowly for that position. It's gonna be very close, and there goes Tucker on the inside once again for the 2nd spot. Is it gonna be enough? Doesn't look like it will. They're still side by side as we enter lap number 5, and Tucker has the nose ahead once again as they enter turn 3, and finally the 9 is going to make the move for the 2nd position of the race. He's going to make a move for the lead on the inside of the 88. He saw an opening. He went for it. As we open lap number 6, they're still side by side. McHenley gives a push to the 88, and they're still side by side fighting for the 1st position. This is very much narrowing down. There goes the 9 for the inside for the lead. Side by side still at the line. The 9 leads the lap. And he hangs on, but Pellerin fighting back. They make contact on the exit of the corner. Tucker and Pellerin fighting for the lead, and McHenley watching them very closely. Vernon Hargrove, teammate to McHenley, did not have a very good start, and it gets worse. He taps the wall. Just not a very good start of the day for the rookie, and he's now under pressure from the 20. As you see, the 77 and the 27 making contact. Pellerin around. Hit by the 62 of Scott Overton. Leash bit involved, and Ethan Collins came barreling in. Another car came barreling in. Let's watch Scott Overton. Pellerin got spun right in front of him. He had nowhere to go. And when Kate Nurturer was missing the 62, the 16 barreled in at full speed. Hibiki Murata also missing the crash. You see how hard the 16 hit her. And then Kirk Jones hits the 52, and that's the 1st caution of the race. Quite a few cars involved, but a lot of people not with a lot of damage. But you see Ethan Collins is gonna be done for the afternoon very early on, only 9 laps in. You have a second look at Caitlin Richard getting struck on the passenger side by the 16, and that's gonna end her race. That's not gonna end her race, but that's gonna end her chances of winning this race. Chris Endicott also barreled in and hit the 52 on a second go around. That's a lot of damage on the 63. He's not going to be done for the afternoon, but that car is going to be in very poor condition. Kate Taylor decides to go into the pits on lap number 14. He has no damage. He has no issues. It was just a strategy stop. I really don't know what the strategy is, but they called him to the pits with no issues. Tucker leads the way as we get the restart on lap number 15. Pellerin fighting, keeping him very closely. McHenley, Boyd Abbott, and there you see Brett Finley. They're running in 5th place. This is a very good battle. No one actually has a clear lead over anyone else, so we're about to see something very interesting brewing as Luke Pellerin makes the move on the inside of the number 9 for the 1st position. As you see the 63 merging back on track. A lot of damage on the 63. And Luke Pellerin's gonna take the 1st position of the race. Once again, Boyd Abbott goes for 3rd place on McHenley side by side, and he's gonna use his teammate as a helping tool to take the 3rd position. Now the Ashcrofts are 2nd and 3rd. Further down, you see Ryan Faulkner in 8th place fighting with Kendra Brittany. Both had very good qualifying efforts, and Faulkner's looking to redeem himself after the incidents last week at Lakeland. Bobby Savage started in 9th, currently running in 10th, just keeping things stable. He's just biding his time. And Chris Endicott with a lot of difficulty controlling that car on the merge. He gets into the 26 of Kendra Brittany, and that is the 2nd caution of the afternoon on lap number 21. He almost gets hit by Creeper Stevenson, who's dropping back like a rock. And Endicott was called to the hauler after that merge. That was really weird. He was not able to hold control of the car. The officials are gonna have a second look at that. Thomas Tucker decides to pit. He's gonna pit for tires, and I genuinely don't really know why. I don't see how much that might be worth. What might be worth it though is for the pit cycle. If he saves enough fuel now, he only has to do one more stop. Peter Johnson currently running in 11th place. A very good run for the 69 team. He's being chased down by Ashley Richardson. Jimmy Wells. Good start for Jimmy Wells. He missed that initial crash and jumped all the way to 14th. Now Kendra Brittany, after that contact, fell to 15th place. She has some damage in the rear, but not enough to make her car drive much worse than it was before. And Rebecca Pellerin also, the damage is not limiting her at all. As you see her making the move on Kristen Young, making the move on the 7, and Chris Endicott by lap 28. That car is in no condition of contesting the race. He is done for the afternoon. Caitlin Richler, as we enter lap 36, she's running in 32nd place. Last car running on the lead lap. And she's just way too far behind, fighting with a 52 and 32. Both cars also very damaged. They're just gonna try to ride around and wait for cautions and incidents to happen. As Ronnie Samples, another driver looking to redeem himself from incidents last week, is currently running in 17th place, getting position by position, climbing very slowly. Thomas Tucker, after his pit stop, finds himself in 13th place, working under Eve Austin, catching Ashley Richardson. He's climbing position by position. The pit stop made a difference, and now he's just gonna try to gain as much ground as he possibly can. And it's a good thing he pitted under caution. He doesn't fall as much as he could have fallen. Rebecca Pellerin chasing down the 69, and Peter Johnson, take a little care there. Little tap on the wall, and Pellerin now in 14th place. Takes the opportunity, makes the move on the inside, and it's gonna be a smooth sailing as she tries to catch up to 13th. Brett Finley and Bobby Savage running in 6th and 7th, having fantastic runs for Triumph Motorsports, a team that we know has expertise on short tracks. Finley won at Bristol last year in that very short dash race, and they're just gonna chase those wins in short tracks. The 88 now laps the 2 of Caitlin Richard, has already lapped the 32 of Kirk Jones, and is about to lap the 52 of Hibiki Murata. A lot of chews in the tail end of the field, 32nd to 30th. And as you see Boyd Abbott trying to chase now Pellerin with Mac Henley on his tail and Lucy Barton right behind. The good thing for Boyd Abbott is that he held the 2nd position since the restart, but there goes the 18 using the lap cars as a pick. And there goes the 18 to the inside to make the move. Coming in turn number 1 as we open lap 49, the 18 has clear sailing. Quite a easy going move by Mac Henley. Lucy Barton also takes the opportunity to make her own move. Charlie Faulkner having a look-see there, but I don't think he's gonna make the move that sooner. He's gonna buy this time. Ruby Carson running in 8th place despite the contact, having a very good start. And she's chasing down, you see Brad Finley, who's running in 7th, and Bobby Savage, who's running in 6th. Ben Makowski taps the walls likely in 17th place, the driver for Ashcroft Family Racing's secondary team, the 66 team. The other secondary team is the number 6. Mega McDonald running in 23rd place, currently chasing down Jimmy Wells, who's in 22nd. Creeper Stevenson fell all the way to 24th. Good qualifying effort by the 420. Terrible start of a race. They clearly missed the setup because Peter Johnson is running way ahead of him. Lee Schmidt currently running in 18th place, showing that the problems for Ernest Lewis Racing are track adjacent, I could say. They're having a lot of hard time advancing on the short tracks, but we expect them to get that squared away sooner than later because the alliance between Luke Starr and Ernest Lewis is solid enough that I believe they will have enough pace to recover as the season goes on. It's the growing pains. Mac Henley chasing down Luke Pellerin, using the lap car of Kristen Young as a pick to gain a lot of time, but Kristen Young also on the inside keeping her pace. That means Mac Henley's gonna lose some time as he makes the move on the inside as we open lap number 57. There he goes, and he's now with a clear gap to the 88. He has daylight between him and the 88, not a car in between them, and he's just chasing down the 88. The 98 right there in 3rd place, chasing as well. Bobby Savage and Boyd Abbott battling for the 5th position. Charlie Faulkner took 4th, Lucy Barton took 3rd. And look at Thomas Tucker there in the 7th spot, climbing very slowly, making his moves as he can. By lap 60, he passes Abbott, and he has the 51 in his crosshairs. There he goes on the inside. Kristen Young moves on the inside. That could have been much worse than it actually was. 9 chasing down 51. And there goes the 99. 15 joining the battle. We got a little 4-car battle for the 5th spot. Ruby Carson right there. in the 10th position. Luke Pellerin chasing down the 420 of Creeper Stevenson. They make a little contact, a little tap by the 88 as the 18's chasing down the 88. Now he's stuck behind the Dirt Breaker 03. That's gonna be a very welcome reprieve to Luke Pellerin as he tries to run away from the 18th and open as big of a gap as he can. If this race goes green until the first pit cycle, he might be in a very good position. Thomas Tucker is making use of his slightly newer tires, being very aggressive, makes the move on the inside of the 85. He is now going for 4th place as the 420 and the 03 hold back the 98. This is becoming a 3-car battle for the 3rd spot as they start to chase down the 18 of Mac Henley, and there goes the 98 under the 420 of Creeper Stevenson. Thomas Tucker giving chase. Is it gonna be enough? Barton hangs on the inside, and Tucker is not gonna try it through wide. Even though there is enough space, it's just not very practical. Charlie Faulkner is gonna give the receipt, goes to the inside, and as I said, the 3 wide isn't very practical, but it is possible. We almost have contact between the 85 and the 9. They're very close, and the 9 makes a spectacular move. Thomas Tucker is being very aggressive, very early. Nice move on lap number 69. Lucy Barton being chased down by the 9 and the 85. This is going to be a very big battle for the 3rd spot, especially as Mac Henley starting to open a gap once again. But they are chasing him down, they are reeling him in, mostly because of the amount of lap cars Henley has. He's passing his teammate Hargrove right there in the front. Look at him bump by the 9 on the inside of the 98. That's the type of move where you gain positions in. And there he goes for 3rd place. Now there's only 2 cars separating him from the lead, and we aren't even 100 laps in. And Hargrove moves to the inside. You know exactly why. He's gonna have to help the senior member of his team. And there goes Hargrove hanging on the inside, slowing down the 9. The 32 hanging back on the 30, so Jimmy Wells gonna lose a lot of time as well. But here comes the 18 catching the 88 for the very same reason. The lap cars, they're diminishing the gaps. As you see, the 22, the 52, and the 2 are up ahead. The 22 is pretty much at the same pace, so it's gonna be a very problematic work of administering the field, as Tucker is now solidly in 3rd. He has Carly Ellison and Vernon Hargrove making the buffer between him and Lucy Barton. And Tucker to the inside of Hibiki Murata, trying to get the bumper on the 18. He gives a tag on the 52. That could have ended much worse than it did. Both save it, both keep it going on. We don't have a caution right now. And there he goes, catching the 18. Fantastic run by Thomas Tucker, climbing all the way back to the 3rd position, going for a 2nd as the 88 and the 18 are held back behind the 22. Henley is gonna try to do something there. No, not yet. But that's something that the rookie champion showed. He has patience to look at that. He has the patience to give someone the rope and let them tie their own legs in it. And there goes Henley for the lead. Fantastic move. Thomas Tucker giving chase. Lucy Barton falling a little bit behind as we enter lap number 7. As we are closing lap number 78, about to enter lap number 79. Look at Tucker not sparing any little bit of sheet metal. He gives a little shove on the 88, and he's now going after Henley for the lead as they lap the 22 of Riley McKee and the 7 of Ronnie Samples. Carly Ellison in 24th place tags the wall hard. She loses control of the car, hits the wall hard as she's getting lapped by Charlie Faulkner. Could have been nervousness, could have just been the marbles that are forming up. The 9 on the inside of the 18 for the 1st position. Is it gonna work? It looks like it will, as they chase down the 34 of Megan McDonald to put her a lap down. And Warren Majeski's right there as well, being chased by them. And Luke Pellerin started to fall behind. Those two started managing the lap cars and left him in the dust. And there goes the 9 on the inside. Battle for 3rd place gonna be between the 98 and the number 88. Rebecca Pellerin on the inside of the 99 of Boyd Abbott for the 8th position. She's been climbing very slowly, using the lap cars to her advantage, especially because of that whole damage she has in the rear. Instead of fighting, she's just calculating as the 99 and the 52 make contact, and the 72 spins in the reaction. 32 spins back there as well. A 4-car incident that was a 2-car incident. Thankfully, It did not get bigger than that. Lap 88, and the lead lap cars are gonna take this opportunity to pit. The 9, the 18, the 88, the 98, the 85 are the first takers, but everyone on the lead lap is gonna take this caution period, third caution period of the race. So we had a very long green flag run from lap 26, 27 all the way to lap 88. As you see the race off the pit road, Luke Pellerin lost a lot of time. They were sorting out a bent front right front panel and a bent left front panel. Those panels got bent into the few contacts he had with Thomas Tucker and Mac Henley, and that cost him some 6 positions. Lee Schmidt, the biggest gainer, gained 4 positions in this pit stop. He just put fuel and did a fantastic job, but Corbin Dempsey came out of the pit so well, was gonna be running inside the top 10, well inside the top 10 as he has done the whole day. He was running 7, and suddenly something in the car failed, and he's gonna be done for the afternoon. 88 laps in. We get the restart. 9, 18, 98, 85, 51 is your running order. They're very close together. And as you see, Lucy Barta tried to set up a move on the 18 on Mac Henley. Is it gonna be enough? Doesn't look like it will right now, but she's gonna keep the pressure. Henley goes wide, and we got a penalty for Peter Johnson. He jumped the restart past the car before the start-finish line, and that's a drive-through. He's gonna end up losing 1 lap and be near losing 2. Becky Pellerin and Lee Schmidt, look at them right there, 6th and 7th. The 43 just needed to get a couple of cautions to move up into the field. And look at Luke Pellerin there in the 8th position, just also using this opportunity to climb over the 51 as they are catching Bobby Savage. Savage does not seem to have the best car tonight, but he has a good enough car. He can fight for a top 5, seems like. As Henley, Barton, Faulkner. This is your battle for the 3rd spot, and Barton trying to set up on the inside. Not enough. Megan McDonald chasing down the 77 of Ruby Carson. There's contact between the 8 of Eve Austin and the 58 of Ashley Richardson. They're battling for the 11th spot, and that could have ended much worse than it did. Thank God they kept things together. We could not afford a caution right just now. It's just a useless monkey wrench. As Luke Pellerin not giving any space to his sister. He's the older brother, so he's just bullying her a little bit around the track. Gave her a little shove. She acquiesced, and she falls to 7th place. He takes 6th, and now he's chasing the 51. Jason Prescott in a sandwich off Ben Makowski and Brett Finley on the middle. And oh, the 66 shoves the 03. The 03 loses control, and that's a 3-car incident. And Boyd Abbott gets involved. 4th caution of the race, and this was a thing. Look at that. The 66 shoves the 0 to the inside. The 0 responds. The 15 shoves him back. And when Boyd Abbott's there, he's the right guy at the wrong time, at the wrong place. He was having a fantastic race, took the choice to go to the pits, dropped to the back, and now his race is very much damaged like the front end of that car. Thomas Tucker leads the field to the green. Lucy Barton running in the 2nd position. 85 is right there in 3rd. Mac Henley running 4th. Luke Pellerin seeking to make a move on 5th in the back there, as we are now way quite past the 3rd of the race in. We are 119 laps in right now as they pass the start-finish line. The 88 making a move on the inside for the top 5. Is it gonna be enough? He has the nose ahead. He's might try a move on the 18. He does have some clearance, and there he goes. Gonna try to get both positions in one go. Try to go from 6th to 4th. Is it gonna be enough? Side by side at the line. The 18 wins this one out, but coming to turn number 1, there goes the 88. Then doesn't look like it'll be enough until the exit of the corner. And they're still side by side. Incredible battle. And there goes the 88 nose ahead. They almost make contact. They're driving very closely. And the 18 caution. And the 18 wins at the line. Let's see what happened there. Ben Makowski and Jason Prescott. And Ben, you better have just lost your brakes, because that was... Let's see what happened there. He started throttling up and the car pushed. You gotta be happy that the car pushed, because if the officials deemed that intentional, you'd be screwed. And the 69 of Peter Johnson just barrels into the 15. And that's gonna end the race for the 69. They were running back in 27th place, just having a disastrous run after that drive-through, and it comes to a melancholic end. Barton continues to chase down Tucker. She needs these cautions to keep him, for lack of a better term, under wraps, under her control. He can't run away too easily, because if he starts lapping the cars, the gap starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That becomes a big problem. And Boyd Abbott! And he has a penalty. He has also jumped the restart. He also has a drive-through. His race goes alright. Charlie Faulkner to the inside of the 98 for second place as the 9 starting to open a gap. They make contact. Faulkner shoves the 98 away. Barton probably did not like that at all. But what she can say? He just took the position and went away with it. Megan McDonald recovering spots with the help of the lifeline. She's now up to 14th place. And the car started to come up under her. She started to get a little bit more control, getting a little bit more confident when taking the corners. It's a matter of surviving. And if she survives, she stands to gain a lot of points. And that's something that the Ernest Ruse Racing team needs to recover. Another team that needs points badly is the 26 of New England Automotive Technologies. The reason being the provisional battle. They need to get into that top 24, and they need to be safe inside the top 24 to be guaranteed at least one of their cars will start every weekend from now on. Well, not now on, but from, Race City onwards. That's the cutoff race for the provisionals. Starting at the 7 event at Carbondale, the provisionals are defined by the top 24 in owner standings. As you see, Lucy Martin giving the receipt to the 85. She takes the second place. Luke Pellerin chasing them down in fourth place. Barton chasing down Tucker as we enter lap number 135, about to close it and start lap 136. Barton having a look, but it's not going to be enough as they come to lap the number 2 of Caitlin Richler. There goes the 9 on the inside. Is Richler going to give enough space? Not yet, but as they get to the start-finish line, it gets much easier, and Tucker will hold the lead. Barton fighting, trying to keep him very close, trying to fight him enough to make a move on, but that's just not going to be enough as he's about to lap the 32, and every time he laps a car, that's one car that Lucy Barton has to lap. That's one car Lucy Barton loses time working through, and that's more time that Charlie Faulkner gets to catch her, and more time Thomas Tucker has to see what he can do and run away as fast as possible. Creeper Stevenson on the wall, currently in 23rd place. How the mighty have fallen. Bad run for the 420 crew. They're being chased down by Ben Makowski in the 66 and trying to chase down the 33 of Kristen Young. Jimmy Wells currently running inside the top 20 once again after the cautions. He's chasing down the 1 of Warren Majeski for the 17th position. A very good run for two drivers that I don't think anyone expected much from. But we'll see if this is just a lucky break and not actually a pattern. Rebecca Pellerin back to 10th place, being chased down by Ruby Carson, Ronnie Samples, and I think that's Riley McKee back there. Let's see the camera pan. No, that's Kendra Brittany. Apologize. And the 77 to 27 already got into the wars in the first caution, and Pellerin just gives the Ruby Carson some space. She's not gonna try to risk getting spun out again. That was bad enough the first time around. 77 takes the 10th position, and now Pellerin falls outside the top 10 as Lucy Martin about to make a move on the inside of the 9 for the lead of the race. Lap 142 coming on to start working on lap 143 as they're about to lap the 52 once again. Charlie Faulkner takes 3rd place from Luke Pellerin. There goes the 98 on the inside. She has the nose ahead and she's gonna make it happen. She's gonna use the 52 as a pick. Not quite. The 52's going wide into the wall, almost back into the 98, and well, it is some time gained by Lucy Barton, but it's not nearly enough time to make an impact. As they lap the 03 of Jason Prescott, that's something that's gonna give Lucy Barton time. The 03 dives to the inside and holds up the 9, and as you see, both of them are ex-auto bodies. I'm not gonna imply anything. You imply something in the comfort of your home. I'm gonna be very quiet. 85 about to make a move on the night. 88 caught them, so it's a 3-car battle for the second position. And there goes the 85 on the inside, gives him a little kiss, just a little peck as we enter lap 149 of 300. And as we're about to close lap 149, there goes Faulkner on the inside using the 03 as a pick. And Charlie Faulkner takes second position as we enter lap 150, about to close the first half of this event. Thomas Tucker hanging on to third place. There you see Kendra Brittany and Rebecca Pellerin fighting for the 11th position. Ronnie Samples currently there in 13th. And Becky Pellerin hanging on just barely. And there goes the 26 to the inside. That's going to work out quite impressively. Kendra Brittany did not take knowledge that Becky Pellerin is the defending series champion. She just passed her anyway like she's a rookie. Fantastic move. The Barton sisters, one at the front edge of the field, the other at the back edge. The 97 about to be lapped as Barton reaches the number 8, the number 28 and the number 20. As Luke Pellerin caught Creeper Stevenson, and he's about to lap, and Stevenson's in 23rd place. They make contact and they spin in front of the field. Mac Haley gets involved. And there goes Mac Haley getting involved. Ryan Faulkner. Oh my lord, the 420 turned the 18. Oh my god, the track's blocked. The track's blocked. Ruby Carson, Jason Prescott, Pellerin involved again. I see Megan McDonald there. That's everyone. That's everyone. Haley just could not miss the 88, and when he starts moving to the outside of the track, he gets tagged by the 420, and from then on, it is just a disaster. You see the 8 there, his teammate for this race involved. You run together with a 420, and he just got unceremoniously tagged by the 88. The 88 made a move on the inside, ran over the marbles, and then this happened. I don't know what that was. I don't know the motivation, and I don't know even how does that happen. But both Henley and the 420 of Creeper Stevenson were called into the hauler. As you see the amount of cars that are involved, you see there on this first page, there's 10 drivers. Majeski, Boston, Brett Finley, Mac Henley, Kendra Brittany, Rebecca Pellerin, Vern Hargrove, Jimmy Wells, Kirk Jones, Megan McDonald. You can see how the crash continues. And then Brett Finley hit the wall. He slid and got hit by the 32. The 32 got hit by the 1. The 30 hit the 1. And then the 28 hit the 1 quite violently. The 30 gets 2 rears in the air. And the 85 gets involved. That's just 18 cars involved. That's more than half of the current field. And this one was off. Quite a few unnecessary post-yellow incidents as people were scrambling to find space. As you ride together with Charlie Faulkner, you see the 28 just slides right in front of him. Nothing Faulkner could have done to miss him. As you see, there's drivers that decide to wave around this pit cycle. And as you see, as they come into the pits, the 2 and the 32 get together. And then the 15 gets together with the 98. They make contact. And what the hell was that? What in the hell was that? The 15 just sent the 98 into the pit wall because he drove straight through the front of the pit exit. I didn't understand it. The officials didn't understand it. And as you're gonna listen on the radio, even Lucy Barton didn't understand it.
Guys, come on, what the hell was the... What even happened? What the hell was that? Are you kidding me? God damn it.
And when the radio comes from the 15, you're gonna write together him in a few moments. He was having what we call a moment as you see him drive through. Let's listen to his radio.
Oh, mother... God damn it. God.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Brad. What the hell was that? They're gonna dock us multiple laps. We're screwed.
Yeah, if the crew chief didn't like that, I cannot believe Lucy didn't like that either. She falls 2 laps down. That's a lot of damage in the 98, and the officials had to take a decision. You'll listen to it.
The timing and scoring, remove laps from the number 15. He got a penalty, remove 5 laps from his scoring sheet.
That is actually lighter than I thought it would be. I would have thought a disqualification would be in order, but I assumed that he built goodwill by being very clean on short track, so maybe this is what it involved. But as we have the restart, Eve Austin has damage, Rebecca Pellerin has damage, the whole field is shuffled because just about everyone had some sort of damage. And the green flag is out. Ashley Richardson jumps all the way to 4th. Ruby Carson is on the freaking modified. She's running in 13th place. Mac Henley with a rear end all kicked up and battling with Luke Pellerin with the sides all bent in. And they're just running. They're running inside the top 15, deep inside the top 15, as you see the 52 into the pits because of damage. And you ride with Bobby Savage. He makes contact with the 43. Whoa! Savage taking no prisoners, but if the 50 already got a penalty, Bobby's gonna have to take a lot of care for him to not get penalized either. There goes Luke Pellerin for the 5th position, going for the 3rd position, and now going for the 2nd position under Eve Austin. Look at the rush. The 88 is on. He's like a man that's been late for work 2 hours ago. And he's on a rampage going for it. Eve Austin up into the wall. Almost hits the wall, but the 88 keeping the pressure, trying to pry that door open. He's gonna do it as they come to end lap number 179. Austin hits the wall in her own confusion. And as we enter lap 180, 88 takes the 2nd position, and he's chasing down Thomas Tucker for the lead. Rebecca Pellerin currently there in 4th, and by the time we get to lap 185, look at how the 88 bridged the gap between him and Thomas Tucker. This is gonna be a hell of a battle. Tucker has a unblemished car. Luke Pellerin has a completely blemished car. As you see Megan McDonald benefiting from all the chaos, she jumps all the way to 8th place. Ronnie Samples currently running in 9th. You see there Warren Majeski running also inside the top 20 after the crash. Ashley Richardson currently running in 3rd place, hanging on against Eve Austin. Jimmy Wells running up there as well. He got lapped, but he's running up there fighting with the cars, at least keeping his space. Thomas Tucker about to lap Majeski now. He's having a look. Majeski into the wall, into Tucker. And that's a bit of damage Tucker's gonna have on his front end, but that's still not a problem. He has a gap between himself and the 88 as the 43 is also running in the NAAC modified. That is incredible. We have 2 modifieds in the field, Carson and Schmidt. Kristen Young used all this chaos as well to jump to 12th place as we reach lap number 199. About to close in 2/3 of this event, and things are starting to finally be cleaner now. Caitlin Richler running in 16th place, gaining positions, but the car is still way too damaged. She's fighting to steer that car, and that just means she's just not gonna gain enough time. She's gonna do what she can, she's gonna gain all the positions she can gain, but she's not gonna be able to manage that gain. She's gonna fall behind eventually, but the good thing is, there were so many cars involved, she's not the only woefully damaged car. Charlie Faulkner is one of those. He's 21st, being chased down by Lucy Martin. Carly Allison taking this opportunity on her 2nd series start to run in 11th place. Quite a good run, but she's being chased down by the 88, who's the leader of the race. So she's gonna fall 1 lap down, and we're only gonna have 10 cars on the lead lap. As you see, Tammy Barton is the 10th car on the lead lap. A lot of damage on the 97, but she's keeping strong. The 9's gonna pass her, and now we're only gonna have 9 cars on the lead lap, under 98 laps to go. Bobby Savage with the damage dropped to 16th place. The 18th right there in the wars with the 30 and the 98. They make contact. Then Mac Haley's involved again in another caution. Jimmy Wells and Bobby Savage involved. Big incident for Bobby Savage. Quite a good run, but he now is in 16th place as you take a look at the amount of cars that are gonna recover 1 lap, and everybody goes into the pits. This will be their final pit stop of the race. Let's see what happens in the race. Off pit road, as you see everyone on the lead lap once again pits, but we only have 9 cars on the lead lap. And as you take a look, the 9 comes out in the first position. Quite a good pit stop. The 88 now comes out in second. Ashley Richardson's gonna come out in third. Eve Austin having a solid run running in fourth place. Mac Henley in sixth. Riley McKee seventh. Ronnie Samples and Megan McDonald wraps up the cars on the lead lap. And the field's in control of Thomas Tucker as we approach lap number 214. And here we go. Restart has happened. And Tucker continues to hold the first position. Luke Pellerin chasing him down, trying to make as much as he can from his current circumstances. Ashley Richardson hoping pretty much that those two wreck. They have better cars, so if they both wreck, you know what that means. Yeah, she takes the lead. And Eve Austin has a very damaged car. This means Ashley Richardson's in a position where she can fight Eve Austin on the outside. But look at Mac Henley there. He's about to pass Rebecca Pellerin for 5th, and he's gonna do short work of our two cars that have the rear ends all sorts of damaged. But they are on pace. They are keeping the 8 and the 58 under tight leash. Ruby Carson currently running in 14th place in the modified. She's taking everything she can take, and if more things happen, better for her. She's gonna be a happy camper. With this 14th place, I'm already sure she's already a happy camper, but she can be a happier camper. Demi Martin still running in 10th place. That's one happy camper. That car was nowhere all day. The caution, the 18 car incident propelled her all the way to the top 10, and she just needs to hang on. Doesn't even need to gain any positions, because the positions she loses will still keep her safe within the top 20 the way things are going. Caitlin Richler is inside the top 20 as she gets passed by the 98. The 98 now is one lap down. So Caitlin Richler is not going to lose the position right now, only when Lucy Martin cycles all the way around the field. And by then, Caitlin Richler might as well be a second lap down too. Lee Schmidt's right there behind Richler, not having a good time at all. And the 88 and the 9 are still fighting for the lead of the race. They are very close to each other as we are 226 laps in of 300. This is building up to be a very interesting finish. Those two are running away with it. As you see, they are approaching the 420 off Creeper Stevenson to lap him, of course. Third place is still Ashley Richardson. Big gap from her to the 8 off Eve Austin. And they caught the 420. They're about to lap Creeper Stevenson. Let's see where Thomas Tucker is going to make his move. And he's going to make it on the outside. That's questionable. That's questionable. I wouldn't do that if I was him. And that just opened the door for the 88 to make something happen. There goes the 88 on the inside. And that's for the lead of the race. And that was surely close. Luke Pellerin is your new leader as we enter lap 229. Mac Haley currently in 4th place past Eve Austin and is catching the 58 of Ashley Richardson quite handily too. He just looks like a freaking madman out there. And oh no, Becky Pellerin done for the day. Something on that car broke and it billowed a lot of black smoke. That's not good. Becky Pellerin is gonna be done for the afternoon. She was running in 6th place, and that's terrible for the defending champion. Her points tally will drop massively. Her brother on the other end, he's having a blissful run, currently holding the lead. Tucker is trying to catch him, but is just not able to make the move as soon as he could. But Rebecca Pellerin going out certainly raised a lot of alarms in the 88 crew. The 18 about to make the move on the inside of the 58 for the 3rd position, and it's gonna be easy. It is gonna be easy. Hanley, the 2014 series champion, the first rookie to win the title in I think around 10-15 years, he's just riding pretty well, having a fantastic run, taking care of what's left of his car, and that's exactly what you need to do in a race that has become an informal demolition derby. As you see, the 3rd modified on the field, Ryan Faulkner, who has climbed all the way up to 14th place using the cautions and the lifeline in his favor. Another driver that climbed massively is Riley McKee, currently running in the 6th spot. He's being chased down by the 7 of Ronnie Samples, but it doesn't look like Samples has much for him, at least in this first moment. Let's see as tire wear builds. The 88 has opened some gap to the number 9, and it's really weird because the 9 has slowed down massively, and the radio communications are gonna give us an explanation on the why.
Guys, I'm seeing the fuel pressure gauge really weird. It's looking really weird.
Yeah, copy, Thomas. You better start taking in a little bit of care. I'm seeing a little bit of a white smoke blowing up. Could be the tire, but just to be sure, just take the foot off and take a lot of care so we can finish this one.
That does not sound reassuring at all. And Ashley Richardson must be loving it, because if the 9 goes out of the race, she gets back in 3rd place. And Mac Haley is using this opportunity where Thomas Tucker started taking the foot off the throttle to catch him for the 2nd position, and he's all over the 9. The 9 about to lap the 420 again. He's gonna try the outside. Is it gonna work? No, it does not. But Stevenson leaves the inside open, and there goes Tucker. On turns number 1 and 2, he wasn't able to do it on 3 and 4, but on 1 and 2 was a pitch perfect pass, and he's trying to build as much of a gap as he can between him and the 18. Just in the odd case, his car just goes down on power and he has to hang on. As we enter the final 45 laps, Caitlin Richler is still in 18th place, lapped a 2nd time by the leader. As the leader comes up on the 0.66 off Ben Makowski, a little bit of contact on the exit of the corner. That's where this track is very treacherous, as you watched throughout the whole race. And oh, that problem was way worse than anticipated. Thomas Tucker into the pits, and from the pits, he would not leave. They lift that car up, they start to take a look, and simply, there was an issue with the fuel line of the 9. You see how they go to the other side, they lift it up, see if they can sort it, but they were not able to. The fuel pressure on the car dropped to levels that were way lower than they could have run with, and when they realized it, it was already too late. The fuel was already spilled. Thomas Tucker is done for the afternoon, and that places Mac Haley in the 2nd position as he tries to chase down the 88 in the thing he's driving right now. Ronnie Samples, after the things he done last week, is keeping a car mostly unblemished. I don't see any markings, I don't see any bends. He's been taking a lot of care of that car. He's taking care of that car as if it's made out of glass. And maybe that's exactly what he needs. He needs to treat everything as it's made out of glass. That might be the way to prevent incidents. Demi Barton, Ryan Faulkner fighting right there. Barton's in 8th place, Faulkner in 14th, and they make contact. Lap 264, we were having a fairly long green flag run, and they just could not occupy the same space simultaneously. That's so unfortunate. And we are left with only 30 laps remaining when the green flag drops. You see there the amount of drivers that recover laps during this caution period. The field's in control. Luke Pellerin, he has the 18 and the 58 to contend with, and maybe the number 8 car. Ronnie Samples took the 5th position from Riley McKee, and as Thomas Tucker retired, they were battling for 5th, now they're battling for 4th. Now they were battling for 6th, now they're battling for 4th. Luke Pellerin hanging on to the 1st position as they round out the final corner. The 18 chasing down. Looks like it is gonna be fairly enough to hold the lead, at least for now. Carly Ellison in 8th place, chasing down Megan McDonald. Ruby Carson still with a lot of damage. Still barely hanging on, but the car's working. She's in the top 10. She just needs to finish. Everything's good. The ends will justify the means if the means are a badly damaged car. Ryan Faulkner currently in 12th place, hanging on as well. He did not get the lifeline, so he remains a lap down. But that doesn't matter. He needs to score points, and Rebecca Pellerin scored no points. Thomas Tucker scored no points, at least in the grander scheme of things. All positions pay points. Demi Barton, this is gonna help a lot her Rookie of the Year run, despite the 15th place. Everyone else that she's contending with, not a lot of people gained a lot of ground on her. Even Kendra Brittany is only directly ahead of her. So we have that status quo to sort out through. Lucy Barton recovered the 2 laps she lost with damage, but she's still a lap down, 18th place. There's not much she can gain from this, aside from the points. So at this point, they're just seeing what they can do. Brad Finley is right behind her, still 5 laps down, and I cannot in my right mind think the 98 team's gonna like that. Oh, a little bit aggressive, a little bit problematic. But at least we don't get a second incident, nor does Lucy Barton want to exact revenge. But I can assure you, she is not happy at all. And she will have a stern talking to Finley. That you can be sure of. Caitlin Richler currently in 20th place. At least she recovers from what was a terrible start. Jimmy Wells in 23rd. The cautions he was involved in caused a lot of damage to his car. So the good thing is that he is finishing inside the top 25. The bad thing is he's finishing outside the top 20. Ruby Carson continuing to run well inside the top 10. She's currently in 7th place. And she just needs to hang on and she can get a fantastic points haul. Spurned mostly by the fact that everyone else that was contesting with her didn't score at all. At least in terms of a valuable haul. Ben Makowski running in 10th place, just hanging on, hanging around, not making anyone nervous. He already got involved in a couple of incidents before. Those were not his doing, but he's not willing to risk it. Ashley Richardson and Mac Henley about to have a battle for the second position as Luke Pellerin has by all means ran away with the first spot. Richardson's trying to chase down, trying to make something happen, but it just doesn't look like she has the it factor that will force her to make a move on the 18, but she's doing what she can and she's trying to put pressure on Henley because every time she puts a little bit of pressure, Henley goes a little bit wide. She puts a little more pressure, he goes a little even more wide. Eventually he's gonna go so wide, he's gonna hit the marbles and he's gonna ride off the car. At least that is the 58's train of thought. Keep the pressure on, don't let him regroup, don't let him recuperate, keep him running. Luke Pellerin is in the first position, about to lap the number 2 for another time, and he does that easily. As we approach the last 13-14 laps, we are on lap 288, so 13 laps remain. By the time we reach 9 laps to go, lap number 292, Ronnie Samples has passed Eve Austin, and he's running in 4th place, a fantastic run for that position. He just needs to keep his thing stable and he's gonna have a very nice points haul. Enough to recover because he needs to be in a good position for the provisional battle. Luke Pellerin laps the 33, another car just like the number 9 who is running unblemished, but differently from the number 9, she is gonna finish her race. We open lap number 295. You ride with Ben Makowski, about to be lapped by the 88 by the time we reach 5 laps to go. And Pellerin's taking his time. As you see, he doesn't give him a bump. He doesn't forcefully pass him. He's just biding his time. He knows he has this thing won. He just needs to keep it stable. And as we're gonna approach 4 laps to go, he just needs to keep the 66 near and the 18 further. And as it turns out, he has pretty much a whole turn on the number 18 that has to feel good. Ashley Richardson is even further behind, but her objective was to bring a top 5, bring a good result at all. And that assignment she has passed with flying colors. Riley McKee gets a bump from the 77, which I don't even know how she didn't damage the radiator of that car, but it worked. If it works, it works, and Ruby Carson's gonna make a move for the 3rd position. Bobby Savage is gonna have a look there under the 51. Is it gonna be enough? Doesn't look like it will. It will not be for position, at least this time around. Ronnie Samples currently running in 4th place, trying to hang on against Eve Austin as we are with 2 laps to go, rounding out the final corner. The white flag will be in the air as you take a look at how the 8 tries to chase down the 7, and in the back of the field the 89 makes contact with the 2, and that's a yellow. But it's on the final lap. That does not change the outcome. Luke Pellerin was ahead. He's gonna race back to the line and he's just gonna not pass the 66 side by side, and he does not. And Luke Pellerin will take the Corliss 300. Luke Pellerin does not lead wire to wire, but he finishes where he started. And by 2 laps, he gets the most laps led bonus, since he led 138 laps, and before his race was over, Thomas Tucker had led 136. McHaley also completes this one where he began a whole second behind Pellerin, however. Shelly Richardson, before the season began, said her biggest shot was gonna be in the shorter tracks. As it turns out, she was right. She finishes 3rd after starting in 17th. That's still not the biggest climb of this race because right behind her, Ronnie Samples used the Chaos as a ladder to get all the way up to 4th, a 30 position gain. If he needed something to redeem himself after that mess at USA International Speedway, he certainly got it. Eve Austin survives just about everything to end in 5th in her last start for a little bit, while Ruby Carson is the last car in the lead lap, all of 11 seconds behind Pellerin, but a 10 position gain in the top 10 is still a 10 position gain in the top 10. Riley McKee and Carly Ellison get it together and bring a double top 10 for HQS Racing after starting deep into the field. And Mega McDonald gets the best performance for Ernest, who is racing this year on a short track, but we've only had 2 of those this season. They have growing room. While Ben Makowski steals a solid top 10 result for Ashcroft Family Racing after starting in 35th, something to smile about after Thomas Tucker's race went quite unceremoniously down the hill. Plus, this is also a very good result for someone who wasn't expected to do much in his appearances this season. With his win today, Luke Pellerin not only takes the championship lead, he opens a 72-point lead over Charlie Faulkner, 80 points over Ryan Faulkner. Lucy Barton's quick climb back into the top flight is by all means complete. She's in the mix, 4th place, last driver within 100 points from the older Pellerin. Both Shield cars are still ranging very closely to the leaders at 5th and 6th, carrying the flag for Chrysler this season, while Thomas Tucker ties with series champion in 2015 Corbin Dempsey, but falls behind in the tiebreakers. Dempsey has 2 top 5s over Tucker's nil. Series champions McKinley and Rebecca Pellerin complete their days in 8th and 9th, the defending series champion effectively too far to challenge for the championship lead after her unfortunate DNF, while Ashley Richardson gains 4 spots and jumps to 10th place in the standings. The battle for the provisional spots is very much alive in this interim. Carly Ellison's starts have propelled the number 20 to the 21st position, where it will not stand long, I reckon, while Kendra Brittany, despite all the problems, will get the 26th to 22nd. Failing to finish harmed the 25 team, and they dropped 6 positions all the way to 24th, tied at the cut line with the 33 team. Failing to qualify at Lakeland did not harm the 33 team at all. They've upset the big boys before with Kristen Young's win at Texas last year. They can upset them again. Joy Torgson started only 1 race in the 0 car, so that entry is naturally falling down the standings. And now the number 1, its teammate, is ahead of it. And if Warren Majeski keeps this pace he started today, he stands to remain with their provisional. The 69, the 62, the 28 had far less than ideal first 2 starts, so they are now catching back to their lost points. They are working with what they have and are only around 15 points from the cut line. Bear in mind, we aren't even talking about the other teams below 30th place. This is growing interesting by the minute, and by the time we leave Calgary, then this will be what decides provisionals until the end of the season. That cut line will be your biggest friend in 2018. In the battle for Rookie of the Year, Tammy Barton is quite ahead of Kendra Brittany. For things to change in only a single race, Brittany would have to finish 21 positions ahead of Barton. Majeski on down, things get even harder if not impossible, so by all means, talking realistically, Tammy Barton will at least hold the lead through the next race. The first time in 2018 where we will be together with a professional car club at the same venue, the newly renovated and changed up 777 Speedway at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Complex. The next race will be the Diamond Casino and Resort Las Vegas 150 and we'll see you next time.